One's hottest record.
And please welcome to the studio the man himself, Declan McKenna, everybody.
Yay.
Declan, it's been a minute. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, Jack. How you doing?
I'm really good. I think our last interaction was during lockdown and we played GTA together.
Yeah, we were just discussing this.
That was our last interaction. We've both grown as men, I hope.
Yeah, no.
Okay, good.
I still wish I was playing GTA right now.
Unfortunately, you've got a brand new song to promote.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the PlayStation?
Yeah, don't worry. Look, we've got to get through this first, Declan. Sympathy, hottest record in the world tonight. A brand new song from you. And upon my first kind of hearing of this, Declan, music is littered with cryptic ideas often, isn't it? It's jam-packed with little things to unearth and that sort of stuff. But I just couldn't help but love how brilliantly simple this tune was.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the joy of it. Just feel good. And I just still love it. I think whether you love this song or whether it's your least favourite song of all time, I think it's probably going to be stuck in your head in 2 weeks' time. Because that seems to be how it goes with this one. And yeah, I love it.
It's a real hooky one. It's a repeater. It is. It really is a repeater. And it doesn't sound like it initially, but then you're 5 listens deep and you're like, oh my God, it really is a repeater. It's great. I mean, did Zeros take it out of you at all? Because that was, I mean, just filled with character and ideas in comparison to maybe this thing.
I don't know. I mean, I think I've still managed to make a pretty weird album. This is like just one little snippet of it. So, but Zeros was a really intense write, and I was more going off of just pure instinct for this album. And I think just making something that just made me feel good, rather than something that felt a little more just intense and really sort of fully thought through. Like, those kind of ideas are cool, but can not everything has to be that. And I found this time just like letting loose and leaving ideas in a somewhat primitive state, but still having a lot of fun with it, just was what was inspiring me. And I'm not really the type to stick around once I've kind of done something. I couldn't really do the same thing again. So I've got an album of a bunch of tunes that I've made that has not been announced as anything yet. That
I didn't even have to say anything.
I think it's going to be, it's going to be full of surprises for people because it's a new world, it's a new process.
Amazing, a new world. So, is there a concept behind this? Is there an idea around it?
Not really. It's just one thing, It's an album. Yeah. It all lives together.
Did you have to take yourself anywhere in particular to kind of manage to write in a simpler way and have that open space of mind?
Do you know something? I was in LA when I wrote this, and this is why Sympathy is such a bright, sunny tune, because it's kind of the first thing that I worked on with Luca, who I've produced a bunch of music with now, and it was the first thing pretty much that I wrote when I got there. And there's a really dark underbelly to LA, and it's kind of a weird place. But initially I was like, it's January, it's terrible back home, it's really lovely here, I'm having a great time. And kind of Sympathy just came out of that. So I think that's why it's a place to start for this, because it was I'd already written some of the songs for the album, but it felt like the start of really getting somewhere with it, and really felt like I was actively just letting loose a bit and opening up to doing things a bit differently. Had you had a kind of inkling of how you wanted to approach it before, or was that kind of stepping into the studio, was that the first time that you'd really felt creatively proactive? I don't know if I acknowledged it, but I spent a lot of time at home working on different random bits, and I think the inspiration for working on things the way I have was ultimately just wanting some things that felt like just little ditties that I come up with in my bedroom, wanting more of those ideas to be presented on a record, and getting them to a finished state, rather than being like, oh, this is just a silly little idea. It feels more direct and more just I've kind of let go of the idea that a major label record has to be something that is as intense. I'm saying there's still some crazy moments that
you seem quite liberated, Declan.
I just feel good about it. I just feel very confident about it, and I'm really excited. I'm just kind of annoyed that I can't get more music out sooner.
It's so rare that we have an artist walk in the studio and feel so, I think, comfortable with a brand new release and so confident in a brand new release. Often, this is why I asked you off air, I was like, do you feel nervous? And you were like, no, I
was on the last album. When I came here to do basically this sort of thing with Beautiful Faces, I was incredibly nervous. I remember being like, I'm not normally like this, but no, good chill.
Zero's walked, so whatever is next can run. And that thing at the moment is Sympathy. It's your hottest record in the world tonight.
This is Radio 1's hottest record.
So there you have it, a brand new piece of music from Declan McKenna. Sympathy, your hottest record in the world tonight. And thank you, Declan, for coming in and sharing it with us. I sense that he was so keen not only to share Sympathy and talk about Sympathy, but also everything else that might or might not be coming along with that. Do you know what I mean? I think with Declan, it's a project, it's a whole entity, right? And it all comes as part of a big package. And so to really get the true context around a piece of music or whatever it is he might be making, you need to have that whole package. But then again, we like to be teased, don't we? I like to be teased. Do you like to be teased? Declan McKenna doing it nicely with this thing, Sympathy. Like I said to him, I like how simple it is. I like how it just feels like a real comfort track, one to have by your side during maybe a difficult moment for yourself, or if just the moment feels right. Declan was talking about being in that LA sunshine in January, knowing back at home it was all gloomy and dark and tougher times. And for Declan, this song perhaps is that, to have by his side during slightly more difficult, darker, greyer times in life. It just brightens everything up, it parts the clouds, and is a perfect addition for the playlist tonight. Your hottest record in the world from Declan McKenna, Sympathy, on Radio 1.